Not many moons ago, I was still in my 20s, you know. But in the blink of an eye, that rawness of youth passed me completely by. And now I easily accept that there is no one to blame if I accidentally overslept. And all the world's material things will lay heavy on my wings. Therefore, I narrate a little piece of my life before my hands' work become inflate. Hey now, what's your story? Today we're going to express that in a sculpture whilst learning how the proportions of the human body works. The basic proportions of a full-grown adult human body by using the 7.5 head proportion system. In other words, if a person is standing up straight, looking forward, this is our 30 centimeter length, which means the head would be 4 centimeters high, and fitting 7.5 of these heads straight down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. The second head is the bust line. The third head marks the navel line. The fourth head marks the bottom of the pubic area. The fifth head marks just below the mid thigh. In other words, the kneecap sitting between 5 and 6. And then 6 would be the upper portion of the lower leg. And 7 or half just above the ankles. So since it's all in the mind, that's exactly where we start, with a round ball, and then shaping the round ball into an egg-like form, rolling only at one side for the head and flattening it on the sides. We're ready to start coiling. Got a few pre-rolled coils here. I'm going to start on the outer line again and coil 18 centimeters up. So that is 4 heads of 4 centimeters high plus a half, that's 2, that equals 18. So I'm going 18 up till the navel line and moving in a cone-like shape up to the navel, but not completely closing it. We use the same process as in any other sculptural coiling system, where we coil, we smooth and stuff to support the clay. Again, I am placing my coil slightly to the inner half of the previous coil in order to move in. And during coiling up, I can check the height by holding my ruler up straight, or by taking out the covered head and measuring that I've got 4.5 heads up to the navel. This time around, we don't have to smooth the whole outside of the body coming up. We are only gonna smooth the inside of the full dress coming up. Alright? So we can have some line work of the technique we've used on the outside. And now for cone 2, we're going to move from the navel outwards to the shoulders, going out to the shoulders, and there we will end it off. Remember that the neck is included in this 8 centimeter height. Instead of placing my coil on the inner half of the previous, I'm now placing my coil on the outer side of the previous coil, continuing to smooth on the inside and also stuffing with paper for support. Now that I've ended off with the last coil of cone 2, slightly tapering in, that's fine. I'm gonna close the coils, therefore not stuffing it to the brim, and press the bust front area slightly back and bring the shoulder area together, pinching it from the sides, keeping end to end, tip to tip, and the neck will sit slightly at the back. So bringing these coils together, pinching it together and folding and smoothing over. It's your choice for where you want to smooth on the outside. I'm just going to smooth right here for now. And now, by bringing all of this together, I'm going to pinch the neck of my figure on the back end of cone 2. So pinch this way and then pinch in the opposite direction. If you find that your shoulders are higher than your neck, steal some of the clay from the shoulder side and push it to the middle or to the neck and smooth that clay to shape the neck at the back half. Remember to use both your hands at the same time to make it easier to equally part on both sides. Now let's work on that face of the sculpture. It's been covered and ready to take it out. The egg shape to be manipulated to full head, pushing the tip of the egg forward to form the chin area of the head. View it from all the sides, bottom, side, all the edges, still not losing that flattened area on the sides of the head. And now we know the neck is going to fit right there. Okay, in other words, this is the front of the face. Now the human face, remember, is divided into halves. First, lightly mark the vertical line halfway up, halfway horizontally for the eyes, halfway of that is the nose, halfway of the nose to the chin is the mouth, and therefore the chin would lie around here. The face shape is all up to you. This is just more or less. Now we're not going to add on any clay. We're actually just going to use what we have. Since it's a small face, I can push in my pinky for the eye holes in the skull. There, not losing the shape of the face completely. And by pushing in the chin, from the chin up, I create the cheekbone there. For the nose, I'm going to pinch a triangle. The mouth only to be drawn in. Now, similar to the posture of the body and the expression on the face, the position of the head will also contribute to the mood or atmosphere of the sculpture and contribute to the narrative you are creating with the sculpture. Look, if she's looking up, it's got a whole different mood than when she's looking down. Okay, so even tilting the head sideways can have a different atmosphere from just having the head straight. Okay, now I'm gonna go for slight downwards, peaceful look, and tilt it to the side. Here is the position of the head, just at the back of the chin and below where these two meet. And try not to lose the shape of the head. So if you're going to wait a little bit for the head to harden, that's fine. Okay, push. There we go. And with a very, very, very thin coil, you can strengthen that joint, but really so thin. Do not lose that beautiful line you have created between the neck and the head. Do not lose that line. Rather leave the coil out then. To complete your sculpture, finally the add-on and whatever you want to do to complete the narrative of your sculpture is to make something from clay. You can allow it to get leather hard and then join it to the sculpture. So just an idea, you can think of things you enjoy seeing. You can think of symbols. So for instance, say a fish, and that would represent fertility, transformation, endurance, or perhaps a bird showing connection between the sky and the earth, or even as simple as a nest representing your home. It all depends on you. It would be great if you consider all the sides of your sculpture like a tree. There is no front or back. It is a whole. Alright? So adding different sizes and shapes would contribute to different aspects and narratives of your sculpture. How much it looks different to where it is added. Okay. Here, for example, you can add a wing if you want your sculpture to be an angel or a flying person. last but not least, do cover your sculpture lightly with a plastic bag to ensure a slow and even drying process. Now look, Rome wasn't built in one day, and nor was the career of Michelangelo. This has been a great session. See you soon.